Han, introduce your character. Feel free to do it in character or not. It's up to you.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So the guy's name is Waylon Fiddler. He is a spell slinger in game terms. As far as his character goes, he is a professional magician. Think David Copperfield and all that crap. He's from upstate New York. He's technically an orphan. He, as far as his powers go, he actually discovered them in the midst of sort of a monster outbreak. He had to deal with one when it interrupted one of his shows. So he's got that going for him, but he does kind of try to, like, he's more a stay out of the war kind of person. If he has to fight, he will, and I'm sure the Hunter team will come up with a few good reasons.
Our tradition.
Oh, yeah.
Our tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot. Han, go to the dice chat and roll 2d6.
We do a test roll before each session. It's kind of like tradition now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, you already did one, but I mean that's better than the one last night. So
yeah.
Let me do one anyway. 2d6.
Screwed.
I love how
damn it.
we progressively got worse rolls.
And they go down by 2. That's what's hilarious.
Well, except for mine.
Now we're back up by 2.
To explain, there's like 3 categories of dice and a 4th unlockable category. Failure, 6 or less. A mixed success, 7 to 9. And a complete success, which is a 10 or more. And unlockable after you're level 5 or more and you pick the certain upgrade. 12 or more is I guess a crit.
Okay.
Crit.
Sure.
Crockett. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway.
Let's see, where...
So you're a magician and also a spell slinger.
Yeah.
So he's a legit magician.
Something like that.
All right.
But he still does the fake stuff because he feels like it.
It's funny.
Genius.
There you go.
Oh,
Now,
sorry.
I wrote up a whole goddamn introduction.
Oh.
So I would like quietness so while I introduce the monster to Han.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get the mood music. All right, let's go. We watch a dark city skyline. The streets are illuminated by dim streetlights. The city is quiet except for the occasional distant violence. Boom, bang, crash! In the distance, we see some bright flashes and a pair of headlights suddenly pierce through the darkness as a modified DMC DeLorean skids to a halt in front of an alleyway. The car's gull-wing doors swing open and slowly as 2 men carefully step out of the vehicle. Looking around curiously, one young man with a puffy orange vest and a pair of jeans looking around as he closes the door behind him. The car is still purring with energy, ready to be ridden again. Minutes pass in awkward silence as the 2 men observe their grim surroundings. This is New York City, right? Where are all the lights, the activity? Hey, Doc, are you sure this is the future? He asks the other man, an older gentleman with shock white frizzy hair wearing a white jumpsuit with a radiation symbol on the back. Curious. My readings do say this is neat. Bang! He never finished that sentence. Gunshots suddenly ring out as the younger man collapses on the floor without a word. Marty? The older gentleman runs around the car, clearly frazzled by the sudden turn of events. He kneels down next to the body of his companion, checking for any signs of life. Before he can finish, another gunshot rings out as a red stain forms on his chest, and he collapses to the floor. 2 thuggish men walk out of the alleyway they parked in front of, laughing heartily. Oh, this is going to be the haul of a lifetime. A car like this will make us a mint. As the man in the knit cap says, barely containing his excitement. The other man, wearing a pair of sunglasses at night for some reason, looks down at the two former owners of the car. These two never knew what hit them. Oh, looks like we got a struggler here. The sunglasses-clad man looks down at the man, two men he shot, and lifts Doc's head off the ground, who's still barely breathing. Should I put this fucker out of his misery? Well, the fucker modified the car, so he definitely cost us the true value. He says, pressing Doc's face into the ground, scraping it against the concrete. What could be considered a death rattle falls out of Doc's mouth. Yeah, go ahead, man. No skin off of me, the hat-wearing man says with a chuckle. Sunglasses-wearing man stands up and draws a bead on Doc's head, pumping one last bullet into his brain to put him out of his misery. In the final firing of the neurons in Doc's brain, one thing permeates them all. Rage. With each thought, Doc's spirit grows as his body dies. More and more, each thought of which of these two had murdered his friend. All out of petty greed, he grows more and more angry, until finally he gives out. But the rage remains. The car roars to life, as if someone floored the gas pedal, scaring the shit out of the two goons. As the two of them jump back, the headlights of the DeLorean become brighter than they ever have before. The car peels out and speeds off into the distance as two men realize what just happened and start fruitlessly running after it. Bang, boom, crash, as a puff of smoke suddenly appears and is sucked into where the car used to be. The two men catch up only to find a pair of flaming trails along the ground. Breathing heavily, one says, "What the fuck was that?" He looks at his friend, who's suddenly gone cross-eyed and sick-looking, like he's about to vomit. He looks over his friend, or rather, where most of his friend once was. As it fades from existence, the other man screams and looks down at his own, and it's not there. And they both scream and slowly fade as if they were never there to begin with. But the car doesn't come back, and neither do its two occupants. And that's the intro. So
Yay!
So, I don't know if there are any Back to the Future movies that sucked, but I'd like to think that whole thing happened after that movie took place. But anyway, I mean, wow.
Consider it an unofficial Back to the Future 4. Anyway.
But after 3, it's a train.
Hello?
Yeah, but there's still a cartoon series. Anyway.
Ma.
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay, alright,
Oh,
alright.
Alamia, hello.
So that was the intro. What are your thoughts going through your head right now as a player?
Well, first off, will there be time travel?
Probably not.
That's up to you.
Nah.
No!
I mean, if one of us wanted to get into the car, I say with a curiousness in my voice.
Why do I feel like the only person who would be Ryan, and then I would have to get in as well?
Anyway.
Because Ryan would do that.
Ryan would definitely do that.
Exactly, which is a good thing he's not here.
Ryan would take
let's
the
go
car to
back
the future
to-
and get a bunch of information about all of the conspiracies he's currently working on.
Oh, yeah, lots of things. So,
Aliens are showing,
Actually, he might not, because he would want to figure it out himself.
uh-huh.
Thonk emoji.
All right, so let's head back to our present, or rather, last night. The same night that Damien got blasted by a fire hydrant and Lamia flexed so hard it scared away the DeLorean.
I didn't flex. I stabbed it with a trident of pure holiness.
Okay, then.
Sure.
Still also flex so hard you scared it. That's literally what your move does.
Wow.
At least in the mind of everybody here.
Gosh
Yes.
dang it.
Sorry, we've overridden your canon.
You overwrite my canon and insert your own.
Yes.
Let's follow the monster for a little bit.
All right.
The moment,
Food's here.
I guess she doesn't need to be here for a moment, since we're focusing on Wayland right now.
Correct.
All right, so the moment Elamia, the moment the car disappears into the ether with two twin trails of flame in the sky, and Elamia starts falling, we follow the car. It's flying through the air, intangible, but the city itself is different, very, very different. It's as if it's suddenly daytime. And it keeps flying through the air, looking for its next victim. Another criminal to squish beneath its wheels and to eviscerate against a concrete wall. And it sees a pair of... It sees what seems to be a stage being deconstructed in that morning due to the show being over. And it decides to travel back at least a little bit during the magic show. Nothing's going on. It's just flying above, generally being pretty silent, but it spots another victim.
I'm back.
Hi, I was just explaining what's going on. A man in the middle of the crowd, hanging around with his family, but the man himself is very suspicious looking. He's very fancy for being in such a... do you serve middle class or low class magic shows?
Middle class for sure.
Yeah, he's a very fancy man, despite being in a very middle class magic show in the middle of let's say an empty lot. Would that be a good place where you would have a magic show?
Yeah, something like that.
Perhaps the middle of Central Park, either one really.
Yeah, park for sure.
So yeah, in a sort of small park in New York, and it's using it due to timey-wimey business messing with its brain. It knows that is another criminal that has brought it to what its current state of being. That man is very much a gangster. Waylon, what are you currently doing right now in your current magic show? Like, how does it begin?
Oh my goodness. How does it begin? Okay, so I start with the obvious. A rabbit out of the hat.
Nice.
For a little girl.
What is the rabbit's name?
Oh gosh.
This is very important.
It is.
It's very important. Huh, maybe I should have a pet rabbit. But,
I mean,
but anyway.
it might not feel important right now, but that rabbit is going to save your life in the future.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Well, then let's call it, oh God, Peter. Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Here comes Peter Cottontail hopping down.
Not
Peter
Cottontail. But, the
Peter
girl, get the rabbit. I mean, this rabbit isn't Peter for sure. Actually, Peter's backstage. But I get another
double.
Yeah, exactly. I get another rabbit, give it to a little girl who wants it, and then there's a bunch of people who want a rabbit too because it's so cute. So I just tapped hat a few times, and all of a sudden, everybody has a rabbit.
Jesus.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
So
get a
then
rabbit?
They're putting their
Please,
rabbits.
nurse.
They're putting the rabbits as I get ready for like a disappearing act with one of, those volunteers that you see on all the Vegas shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be in the middle of that when. Go ahead.
All right. Middle of are you disappearing, or is the volunteer?
The volunteer.
All right.
Oh, no.
Good question.
Oh
I'm
no!
trying to think of a way to make this go.
Oh no! I have a bad idea.
Yes, I as well.
Uh-oh.
We're probably
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. How does this disappearing act is implemented?
Okay, so. Oh gosh. One of those freestanding closets that you see, and then they They go inside. The magician does his stuff, and you open the door, and nobody's there. But of course, the more skeptical people, like if you saw it on TV, you'd think, oh, they just went behind a curtain or something. But something like that.
Yeah.
The guy's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Cough, Ryan, cough.
Hold on. Honestly, I was going to have one of them show up if they were available. But they're not, so they're not there.
Who?
Rad or Ryan. But anyway.
That's okay.
You hear a car engine just kind of revving up. Over the small crowd, it's not that loud, but like you still hear it. It's kind of close to the area for some reason. What are you thinking of that?
Oh, just one of those idiots driving around the park at high speeds. I don't worry too much about it, but at the same time, it's not a common occurrence to hear a car going like as fast or loud as this one might be.
You hear it getting closer. Closer.
So, yeah, god damn it. Can I see where it's coming from?
Not right this moment.
Okay.
If you want to, you can roll something.
Oh gosh, what would I roll in this situation?
Well, all the available rolls are on your player sheet.
Hang on 1 second.
Your hunter reference sheet.
Yeah. Well,
Wouldn't it be investigate a mystery?
No. Well, it can be, but it can also be the other one.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily know if it's a bad situation yet, so.
Well, in any case, it's probably best if I use
technically
my ears.
If you hear a car getting louder coming right at you, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, for sure. But since I can't see where it's coming from, I just, tell the audience.
I mean, you can see where it's coming from if you roll right or ask the right questions.
Yeah. So I'll stop the show for just a moment. The volunteer hasn't gotten into the freestand closet.
Is he just on stage now?
Yeah, like on stage. What the hell? And do we use this dice parser for all our dice rolls then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just do exclamation mark or
It's all
2d6,
but
It's always
And then-
2d6.
plus or minus whatever your stat is.
and
No
if it's
spaces.
0, then you just do 0. Or you just do 2d6.
There's no spaces between the plus and the
Yeah,
minus.
I'll give an example of one with like a plus modifier, so +1. See
Okay.
there, and then
Dang! Just wasted a good roll.
I'm sorry.
Actually,
I'm eating
since
chicken.
since it is getting closer, I've got an idea. Would it be okay if I use the help out action to like maybe get the volunteer off stage as quick as possible?
Well, I mean, help out is
It's more of a hunter thing.
that's for between hunters. I think you're thinking of protect someone.
That's
But
okay.
if you do read a bad situation, you do get a +1 on acting whatever it is.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to say yes. That the volunteer you got is the man in the fancy suit.
I knew it. I knew it. I
And
knew it.
slick
I knew
back
it. I
hair.
knew it.
Like he just did it to humor his kid. Anyway, so he clearly doesn't really want to be up there.
Okay.
So you can like protect someone, read a bad situation, etc.
Yeah, let's read a bad situation.
Roll plus sharp.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
my sharp is +1.
So
Hey,
2d6
good job.
plus 1.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep, just like I did.
Nice. 2d6 plus 1 would be a 5. God damn it.
No, that's you add the +1 into the roll automatically.
But it's still a failure anyway. Mark
it's
1
still a failure.
experience.
Mark 1 experience. Okay. Oh yes, because you get an experience every time you fail.
Yes,
Yup.
that's that's one of my favorite parts of this system.
Okay.
Anyway, on a miss,
I hate it when you laugh.
I take a hard move. Oh boy.
Hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh?
Sound like song lyrics.
You got a boyfriend. I bet he doesn't kiss you.
Out of absolutely nowhere, the monster comes in. The car flies in out of nowhere, just barely over the top of the crowd, and barrels into the gentleman and the cabinet, eviscerating him. And then it just suddenly just disappears behind the curtain, and you don't hear the car engine anymore. And people are just stunned into silence at what the heck just the fuck happened.
Well, shit.
What was your reaction to that?
Okay, show's over, folks. Let's get out of here.
And everyone just kind of screams and runs out of there.
No, not like that. Never mind. I can't control them all. You'll get your money back in a week.
Oh, wow, generous.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
What do you do next?
Well, okay.
It takes like he's like I said, the car sailed over the crowd of people and exploded your cabinet and took the man backstage with him, hitting him at almost full force.
Yeah.
And it's gone behind the curtain.
Well, I take stock of the remains then.
Well, I mean, everything's behind the curtain if you want to look.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So you go over and you open up the curtain, and what was behind your curtain?
Well, let's see. Since it's an outdoor stage, it'd kind of be like, oh gosh, just kind of an enclosed area to set things up and such. So there'd be a wall where there would definitely be like a big ass hole in the wall, and then everything else would be just outside on grass.
So it's like your trailer and stuff behind it?
Yeah, something like that.
Everything is pristine, except for your trailer, which is just... The man was vaporized. Just, your trailer is just covered in blood.
I don't remember painting it red.
Well, it's black, so it's not like it doesn't work. But anyway, as I contemplate how I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, I know that I can see that the car has disappeared somehow without even hitting the... So I guess now would be a good time to maybe investigate a mystery.
Go ahead.
Spooky car.
Roll plus sharp again. And how are you investigating?
The big thing... Let's see. Well... Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. So as someone who knows his magic keys, I got a +1 to sharp, of course, and I kind of like the idea of picking that one because it's like, being the magic man I am, it is definitely,
Magic.
insight. So I kind of try and see if, but I mean, before I even, go into the magic thing, I just want to, see if maybe there was maybe if it was some trick the guy himself pulled, is this some crazy ass prank or something? Something like that.
So you want to physically search your surroundings and stuff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Remember to add the plus.
That's 2d6 +1, and now I just enter it +1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
spaces or anything.
No spaces, okay.
See?
9.
All right, ask one question from Investigator Mystery.
Alrighty. Where did it go? Well, I think a better question would be what happened here. Let's do that one.
All right. From what you can tell, the car seemingly just straight up disappeared, not even leaving a trace other than the amount of blood and viscera everywhere. Like, the man is in a absolute crumpled heap next to your trailer. And obviously, someone is probably going to call the police rather soon about this.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is absolutely untouched other than the big hole behind your curtains. Like, even your rabbit's fine and stuff.
Heck yes!
Good.
The rabbit lives.
For
I
now.
figured it would. So, speaking of which, the rabbit runs out. I pick it up and put it on my shoulder. So, let's see. I call... Okay. So I get... Let's see. Stupid questions. Is this like modern age with cell phones and such?
It's the 80s. There's expensive big cell phones.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Can't imagine what those were like. So I get up... Oh, gosh. Sorry, I'm not the fastest thinker in the block.
It's okay.
Well, doubtless, someone would call the police. I think the best thing for me to do right now, as someone with these powers of mine, is like go home back to my place, and
Your trailer? You live in? Or I forget. You said you live in a small apartment?
Well, I do have an apartment. I mean, the trailer's there mainly for shows, but yeah. So get the trailer cleaned off somehow, but that would take forever, wouldn't it?
And that'd be tampering with evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, so I think what I'll just do is I'll give the police a call to begin with, because I may as well just, somebody else is going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then after that, go back to my apartment and just because this is basically something different that's happened from that last monster attack that I talked about in my biography. So I'll go see if maybe look some stuff up and see if it has anything to do with that.
Your previous monster attack, or just what are you trying to do?
Well, God, I don't know what I'm trying to do. I think I'm thinking too far back. The thing is, I don't know where the car went. I have no idea where to go with this. So
You want to time skip a little bit, see if we can move that along?
Wait, I
Yeah.
have a question. Is
Yeah.
his apartment in the same building as Rad?
No,
Darn it.
he doesn't know the Monster Squad exists yet.
No, not yet.
He doesn't even know the underground wizards exist yet. He thinks he's just like the only wizard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the most wonderful thing about wizards is I'm the only one.
Anyway, yeah, a time skip wouldn't hurt. Maybe.
Yeah, you're kind of tired. You need to process this. You need to take a goddamn nap.
Yeah.
So you go to sleep. And the next morning you awaken to a loud knock on your door.
Yeah, that's not pretty good. All right.
Thank you for the sound effects.
Yeah, I was knocking for a sound effect.
Oh my god. Oh, fun.
My
You
mom
and
was
your life.
asking.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't have a peephole on my door, so I ask who it is.
Police. NYPD.
Shit. Kind of figured knew what this would be about. Well, not much else I can do. I'll open the door.
In front of you, you see... trying to think of a good character name. Fine. I'm always bad with names. Hold
MJ.
on. What?
Make it Thomas.
He's not a detective.
Well, what's the detective that showed up before?
Hold on, I'm getting his name again.
Don Dudley.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, a large African-American man with frizzy hair is standing in front of you, and yes, he's got that 70s mustache on. And he holds out his badge. It's genuine. And he says, I'm here to discuss with you what the heck happened last night about a vehicular homicide.
Huh. Okay. So, all right. Come on in. Grab a seat.
All right. He walks in, and what's your living room like, I guess? Or just your general decorative aesthetic with him.
It's nothing like too amazing. It's fairly general, homely like. Single bedroom, basically where we're at as far as the entryway goes is sort of an antechamber, and from there's a hall to the bedroom, and then there's another hall to like the more living quarters. There's a kitchen connected to it. In the living quarters, one of those cheap ass TVs with a couch across from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty simple. The kitchen also has a little table with a couple chairs on either side, so that'd probably be the place to sit.
Yeah, he sits in one of those.
Okay, I sit in the other.
What the heck happened last night, thank you?
Well, what the heck happened last night? Oh, I don't know. I think what happened was I was in the middle of a magic show. It was a really nice magic show where everybody had a rabbit. And I had this magic act going when, the damnedest thing happened. Looked like something as big as a car just flew in and crashed into my set. And then when I looked to see what happened, there was, like, nothing there. Well, beside a body, anyway. Damnedest thing I ever saw. And that's coming from a magician.
So you're telling me you have no idea where the car went?
I perused the entire field. I have no idea where it is.
And do you have any... Was it a car? Could you identify what it was?
Okay, I'm trying to think back. Was it still stealth? Was it still in sort of stealth mode when it ran into the guy?
No, it was corporeal. It was a DeLorean. It was silver.
Okay. So yeah, it was a DeLorean of some sort. Ugliest car I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know. I think they look pretty good.
Yeah. Weirdest thing though is that it seemed like it was in midair of sorts. It like just hovered right over the audience.
Sir, are there any ramps near where you were performing?
I'm sorry, rats?
Ramps.
Ramps?
Well, if what you're describing is true, along with several other witnesses saying a goddamn car sailed over the audience and hit a guy that was on stage, I kind of want to know who the second closest guy, what he saw.
Well, my stage doesn't have ramps. It's sort of a mobile stage. It's got a staircase with it, but that's about it. So there's no way a car could just get up on it without wrecking anything.